Cool. If we just start with you guys introducing yourself and what you're here to talk about.
Great. So I'm Sally. I'm the producer of POSH.
I'm Rebecca. I'm the director.
So I'm going to ask you to describe the show a bit, but before I do, I'm going to give you 2 pieces of paper, and on each piece of paper there is a word, and I want you to try and get your word into your answer.
Cool.
And when you think the other person said their word, call them on it.
Okay.
See who wins.
Interesting.
I don't actually know which one's which now.
Okay.
But don't let each other say.
It's funny because this reminds me of we had a like our first big social with like everyone, because not everyone had met each other, and we had a big dinner, and at the start of the dinner we had
Challenges.
We had challenges that everyone was given that were like relevant to
So basically,
stuff in the room.
it's challenges. So on your placemat, you have something that you have to complete by
the end of dinner.
Yeah. But it was such a good icebreaker because everyone took it so seriously, and it was basically like the dinner party we had was the dinner party in the show. Like everyone was just
truly right.
Yeah,
Really?
it was. Yeah. It got shut down by the police.
Yeah.
People were like, it
was
got
too
so
much.
out of control.
But the thing is, that some of the challenges were so fantastic that it was people like
Our photographer,
Will,
Ollie Buchanan, he's wonderful,
Yeah.
to tell everyone that they were unphotogenic. So he was going around, we just had the photo shoot that day, and he was going around being like, this is the most unphotogenic cast, that you're so unphotogenic.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
really
really
hard
need to
taking
work
photos
on
of
that.
the
I know
crew
you want to be an
'cause it's
actor, but like, come on. And he's such a nice guy. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
Well, first, tell us a little bit about what it's about, for anyone watching and thinking of coming to see it.
Yeah, so POSH is primarily surrounds this sort of elite club at Oxford University, and it surrounds their sort of termly dinners where they come along, they have a really kind of riotous time, and they basically smash it up and just,
It's based on the stories of the Billington Club, but none of the characters directly kind of mimic any of the politicians that we associate with.
Is that a disclaimer?
No, it is, which is what makes it great, because you don't instantly think, oh, that's Boris Johnson or that's George Osborne.
It's the behaviour really of the
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really the play surrounds one night, one dinner, where things get a bit out of control and it sort of slowly goes downhill. Yeah. Well, quickly goes downhill, actually.
Quite quickly.
Very quickly.
It starts off very funny. You kind of get on board with all the banter, and these boys are... They're fun, and you're kind of part of the dinner. And then there's a point where it really turns, and it's just not funny anymore.
It's quite dark.
It's really dark.
Yeah.
There's some. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some moments where we've had people go like that in the audience, which is like great for us, but not. Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. So you kind of end. There's kind of awkward applause at the end because they've really enjoyed it, but you felt kind of quite sick with yourself for enjoying it.
Yeah,
so it's just this kind of like. So come along.
And how have you found it so far, like watching your baby go out there and perform every night? Maybe might be the wrong choice of word in this particular play.
Still a bit stressful at the moment.
Yes.
It is, because it's just, it's a big old show. But I mean, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing seeing, it's actually amazing doing it here right at the moment, because we get really different audiences every night. And the first audience was like a really older audience, mostly Scottish, and so like they hated them the whole time. Like there was no getting on board. But then the next night there was like a lot of younger English people really laughing at the banter at the beginning, and then like silence at the end. So it's actually just really interesting to see the show go up every night and see kind of I think people's kind of prejudices do play into it from the outset, which is just cool. Like we're watching it from the balcony the other night, and just to watch the audience's reactions was just really
something
cool.
you wouldn't even think about as well, that like
that
demographic.
Well, I didn't think about doing it in Scotland, but then that's something that I thought.
But the thing about it is that this isn't a typical Fringe show. It's kind of made for the West End, where you've got 3 hours, in an interval, that kind of thing. So sort of bringing it to Fringe, like the cuts that we've sort of made through Samuel French, like, we've really had to think about these. And so when you're thinking about the set and the timing and things like that, it's been quite an intense project to do, to sort of condense it into an hour and a half. Yeah. And so the first night, which there was some overrunning and things like that, and then the second night, and they all were just so on it. I just wanted to kiss them all. Like, they were just, so great. And
bloody producer again.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't her challenge. She was just coming on to everyone.
Was it not?
Oh no.
No.
Oh, I forgot about this. Sorry. I'll keep going, shit, sorry, I forgot about the game. I was talking about your challenge. Like, Good, well done. I also think just doing it now, post-Brexit, when it was first written, the kind of people like Boris Johnson, David Cameron, like Boris Johnson was still funny. You know, someone who got away with things because he was like a bit of a laugh, Boris bikes, all that kind of stuff. And now he's just not. And so I think it's just a bit more real to do it right now, which is great because it's something that we planned this show like 6 months ago. We didn't realise this was all kind of going to happen. And we deliberately made it like a bit darker. So it's interesting.
And that's the thing, like one of the reasons that we really wanted to do it now is because it is relevant, but also there are so many talented actors around Edinburgh at the moment that, you know, when we were first thinking, you know, do we want to do this with a society? What do we want to do? And we thought, let's do it ourselves. Let's break out and have this as our company, our thing that we're doing this year.
And it's a real ensemble piece.
It is.
Like there's 10 boys on stage the entire time, which was a nightmare rehearsal. But I mean, it's a joy to watch.
It is.
And you do really get kind of transported into this room, and you do go through the journey they go through. And it's great because it's a very male-heavy cast, and a lot of the stuff it explores is just kind of like the misogyny of these kind of groups, these people who've gone through all boys' schools and then have grown up in a very male-dominated world. So there's a lot to do with kind of their relationship to women, but it's an all-female production team basically.
That is interesting.
Yeah, which is great, and it balances it out, and I don't know, it's just we struck quite a nice balance in rehearsals as a result, I think.
Yeah, like a female gaze and a male perspective. So often it's the other way around.
Well, I mean, the original, the writer's a woman, the original, Lindsay Tyner, the original director, it was like an all-woman production team to start with, and it is interesting that we've kind of
mirrored that in your production.
That's kind of something we deliberately set out to do, I think. Just a few more girls in the room, really.
Brilliant. Well, guys, tell us where we can find you if anyone's thinking of coming.
We're on pretty much the last 7 days of Fringe. We've actually been really lucky. We've sort of sold out our first previews. We've sold out Monday. No flying, which is like ideal.
Which is the dream.
So we actually have not a huge amount of tickets left for the rest of the run, but sort of the next Tuesday to Sunday there are a few left at Bedlam Theatre. So
get them while they're there.
Get them
while you can.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.